Yeesh. My shirt's dirty. In the past 36 hours, 48 hours, I've made like 6 videos. And I'm never going to get a hold of this to look thing, so just... I can't I'll stare up here and look at the coffee machine. That's for this camera thing. I'll talk to myself here, but I won't talk to the coffee machine. But I made like 5 or 6 videos. And the Hillary thing yesterday and this and that, and then I said, you know, I'm not going to put these videos up. But there was a few points in these videos that I want to bring up, and I'll just try to compress it all into one video. The Hillary thing, no big surprise. Very disappointing, because we always have this idea of faith, of justice, and all this in the back of our minds. But we knew better. We knew this, you know. How would she still be the candidate? How would they still have her as a candidate, knowing that she was probably going to get tagged? What were they going to do then? There's so many months left before the election, you know. So this is no surprise. California gun regulations. We had some new laws that were passed. Once again, no surprise. It was not a matter of if, but when. When was this coming? It's California. Okay, let me give you a little tip. Most people know this, but just in case you wonder why does California do this? There is no opposition for the left. The Democrats, whatever you want to call them. There are very few Republicans in power. They're no power. They've been elected, but they're outgunned. There's nothing they can do. They do make trades. Maybe they have a little trick up their sleeve, something that they have control over, and they trade that for some of this. And you know, it's the acquiesce at every turn. They have no choice. So there's no power here. So the left gets to do whatever it wants to do. Okay, there's no resistance. And consider too that California is like New York to Florida, all one state. Does New York, would Georgia want New York making decisions for them? That's what we have here. The Bay Area and LA makes decisions for us. They're very liberal. Here in the Central California, we're not so liberal. But it doesn't matter. We don't count. Okay. Oklahoma, Hollywood. Another thing too, and this is coming to your town. If it's not there already, there may be a few states left: the Montanas, Idaho's, Wyoming's, something like that, Texas, whatever. The right side, call it conservative, call it Republican, has tried to. I really saw this with Bush. Really tried to get into the popular movements. So when the liberal brought up some stupid ass idea, instead of the Republicans coming in and saying no, we're not going to do that, that's stupid, they would kind of, well, we'll let them do some of it. We don't want to seem like we're, you know, closed-minded, or, you know, party of no, and all this thing. So they would accept some of the liberal idea, trying to maybe win some people to their... That never worked. Okay, you cannot accept a single idea. You cannot align yourself, if you're on the right, you cannot align yourself with a single idea that comes from the left. I don't care if they're talking about saving wells, pure water, free education, whatever beautiful thing it is they have. You have to say no. And they come up with your own ideas. See, always on the defensive. These guys are on offense throwing crap at us, and these guys are, well, we'll take a little crap. That's what happened to California. So there is no resistance for the left here. They get to do whatever they want. So they said it wasn't a matter of if the gun regulations happen. It was just a matter of when. See, that's why you keep your eye on California. If you've got some California type stuff going where you're at, maybe the LBGT bathroom thing, you need to stop that. See, I'm from California. I've been here most of my life, but I've lived in and around California. And we're typically we don't want to be too extreme, and so we allow a little thing here, a little thing there, and next thing you know, we're California. We're screwed. It's over. It's done here. Okay, that's how you have regulation like that. In a place like this, if you're in a state where you still have a Republican that can say no to something and stop something, you need to support them. You really need to support them. I got a list here. I got another video on vitamins I'm gonna put up because I think you guys need to hear it. But it's just basically if you're dealing with some depression, if you're dealing with something that's I'll just put it. There are people out there today who are depressed. Okay, and some of those will turn to suicide as their option. when in reality they just didn't have the physical stamina to deal with their issue because they were lacking in a vitamin or mineral. I have personal experience with this. I've never wanted to commit suicide. I get low on iron. The past 3 weeks I've just been walking dead. And I moved from the big house out here to the trailer, brought all my vitamins and supplements with me. And I was in there the other day cleaning up, and I found my iron. I haven't taken iron in 3 weeks. I get low blood iron. I have low iron blood. And I mean, I've been walking dead. Man, what's wrong? I'm eating the right foods. I'm avoiding this, blah, blah, blah. It takes me about 4 days to turn it around. But if someone was already in a depressive state, and they don't know that they're lacking iron, or they don't know that they're lacking whatever they're lacking, and it puts them in a funk, which many of these things will do, a lot of your suicides could easily have been prevented with a little education, vitamins and minerals. Crazy. My mother the other day calls up and she says, "Hey man, there's police and cops, there's sheriffs all over this place." I said, "What place?" She says, "My house." I said, "Well, Mom, what are they doing up there?" She says, "Well, I called them." I said, "Okay. What'd you call them for?" She says, "There's this man outside that her dogs are going crazy. She has 2 dogs, a yellow lab and a hound, and they're going nuts." She goes out there, sees what's going on. There's this guy out there, hair all over the place. Said it looked like an Indian guy, like not a Native American, but Indian. And she said, "Hey, you need to get out of here. My dog's going to hurt you." And she started speaking some gibberish. She said he was barefoot. Now, my mom lives on top of a hill. They're on like 10 acres, but they live up on top of this hill, out in the foothills. I mean, nobody around them. Very rural. And you're like, this is not a place for some guy to be roaming around barefoot. There's obviously something wrong. This guy's, got off his meds and he's, logged, whatever the case is. I said, "Well, what'd you do?" She says, "Well, I went in and got my 410 shotgun." She has a single shot. And, "Hey, you need to get out of here." He said something to her. Took a lighter. They have all this dry grass around everywhere. Took a lighter and he's trying to light the hillside on fire, which they're right up against the foothills, right up against the Sierra Nevada. Nothing. If this guy started a fire, there'd be nothing to stop this thing going right into Sequoia Kings Canyon. So she calls and tells, "Hey, this guy's doing this. There's an arson threat, whatever." 3 cop cars show up. They had like 6 dogs. Helicopter. They had him briefly. They lost him. They have a lot of oranges around him. Orange orchards, really easy to hide. You climb up an orange tree, no one's going to find you. And the helicopter came in. Cal Fire, they're the fire guys that come out because there was an arson threat. And the reason I bring this up is the sheriff said, "Do you have a firearm?" She says, "Yes, I do. I have this 410 shotgun." He said, "Well, tell me what happened." She said, "Well, I went outside there, tried to give him relief. He did. Then I came in and called you, called the police." He says, "Next time, call us first and foremost. Don't worry if it's a false alarm or whether you can always call it back. Call us first. Maybe holler from the window, bring your dogs in, whatever. But make your stand from inside your home." He says, "When you leave the house and you go and confront this person, whether you shot him or whatever the case was, there's a whole bunch of laws on his side. A whole bunch of laws that could work against you." Whereas he says, if you stayed inside your home, you make your phone call, get us on, because it took him 12 minutes to get there, which they apologized for, but it wasn't bad because she lives way out in the boonies. So 12 minutes he's got before they get there. He says, "You need to call us as soon as you can to get us rolling." She says, "Then if you're going to do some kind of confronting, do it from inside your home. Then if he does persist and he is actually after you in a threatening manner, coming to get you, he has to get inside that home. Then once he gets in that home, you do what you got to do." We said, if you're out on your deck and things escalate, you shoot the man. In California, there's a whole, it's not necessarily a clean shoot. So it's really something to consider. I'm glad this guy told her. I'm going to enroll her in a shooting course and get some idea of what the laws are and everything. But when the guy said, get inside your home, make your stand behind your front door, inside your home. Then it's entirely different to defend yourself and far easier. But barefoot, and the guy got away. They never did catch the guy. The last thing is, I was thinking of this. I had a conversation with someone that, like here in California, if you're a Republican, your vote means less than diddly, squat. Okay, but it's too bad. But there is a lot of Republicans here. I got thinking, what other way could you have? You know, lobby is a big power here. If you have a lobby, that's how you get things done. It doesn't matter if you're left, right, whatever. A lobby brings a lot of power. They have a lot of influence if they're big enough. And this is going to sound like a terrible idea. You guys give me your opinion or whatever. This is something I was thinking of. We get this gun thing passed. Terrible law. Just stupid. Ain't going to save any lives. Can't vote it out. Can't vote these guys out. It's only getting worse because the majority of the people here want a larger government. We can't get these people out of here. It's just going to get worse. So it's like, well, what can you do? Toyota, not picking on Toyota, but they're a great target. Toyota, I think they manufacture here in California, but Toyota sells a lot of Toyotas here. Okay, California, just by itself, is a huge economy for Toyota. It'd be kind of nice to go to Toyota and say, listen, we'd really appreciate your support, maybe using your power in the lobby in the government here, the Capitol. If you can go over there and say, hey, this is a ridiculous law, you need to change it. Okay? Have Toyota go and do this for you. And then tell Toyota, once you've done that, then we'll continue to buy cars from you again. Okay? Dairy industry, automakers, whoever, some big outfit's got a lot of pull around here. See, listen, we will continue to support you. Just as soon as you go down there and show us you can't shake up our government and tell them they got to turn this thing around. In the meantime, we're just going to hold off buying any Toyotas. This many people, whatever, here in the state of California. But we need, because we've supported you heavily here in California. You know, we bought zillions of cars. Then we go to Honda. Honda, hey, Dodge, whoever. I'm not picking on the industry. It's just auto industry. It's just, to me, it's a big, easy target. You can go to Kmart. You can go to Target, whoever. I said, well, Target may be as liberal as they come. It doesn't matter. If Target would go and turn this around, hey, go to our state capitol and say, hey, you need to drop this law. This is foolish. Because right now we have a problem. We have a large portion of our population is no longer shopping at our store. And it's costing us. We need to show them support by getting you to change the stupid law, turn this thing around. And I know this is a crazy-ass idea. But really, I couldn't think of any other way. We aren't a lobby. The gun lobby has nothing going here, obviously. But if you went to those that had a powerful lobby and got them to, hey, turn this thing around, because we're losing money. You know, can you imagine Toyota doing something like that? Hey, okay, we need to do something here because all of a sudden we've seen it in car sales. Anyhow, I'm just rambling on. Love you. God bless. That's 6 videos, 5, 6 videos right there.